Welcome, everybody, to the round 22 review with Coach Lucas. A big week in footy, one huge upset, a couple of very close games. We'll start straight off the bat with Thursday night. A shocking result for me, probably not the winning, so probably not the win to Hawthorn, but the margin. Hawthorn absolutely destroyed Collingwood by 64 points. Outstanding the Hawthorn Hawks were. Hollywood Hawks, as they branded. They played really good football in Adelaide for a quarter. It was really good in the third quarter. Just had a bad second quarter. Crows got them in the fourth. But really just dominated Collingwood from bounce one, to be honest. And Collingwood were really never in this contest. Nick Watson was unbelievable in this game. Newcomb was unbelievable. A very scary incident regarding Jeremy Howe. Had a head concussion. He was okay. He's okay. He left the ground on the stretcher. Good news is, as I said, he is okay. He's fine. We'll miss 12 days. We'll miss 2 weeks. We'll miss their big clash against the Crows in Adelaide on Saturday night. But at least that is some very good news regarding that. But Hawthorn absolutely dominated them, destroyed them in the midfield. When the ball went to ground in contested passages, Hawthorn were outstanding. Clean ball gets. Their ball movement was second to none. Really dominated, and Collingwood really had no answer. And for the first time ever, we sit here and say Collingwood looked slow. Collingwood looked really, really slow in that midfield, and Hawthorn dominated them, and they couldn't stop it. At no point did Collingwood stop it. There wasn't a 5-minute passage of play where you'd think, okay, Collingwood has stopped the bleeding. Maybe they can get it back to an arm wrestle. No. Hardly anything like that. Surprising. Very surprising. People saying Collingwood the real deal. The real deal. Hawthorn the real deal. The Hollywood Hawks. Has the collywobble set in? From what I saw, the answer to those questions are Hollywood Hawks contenders? Yeah. When they play 4 quarters, yeah. I think they are. They're scary. Very scary. You don't know what you're going to get from them. That's the problem. Could get really bad. We saw that last week in Adelaide. First quarter, absolutely outstanding in that first quarter. Should have really smashed the Crows. Second quarter against Adelaide, poor. Really, really poor. Whole 4 quarters against Collingwood, really, really good. Really good. Collingwood looked really poor. They have lost a lot of games at the back end where you don't need to lose games. You don't want to lose games anyway, but especially at the back end. 5-6 weeks ago, 3 games clear. 3 games clear at top of the ladder, just beating everybody. Then they played Gold Coast. That's when this cliff, the Collingwood cliff, has came. Gold Coast, Brisbane, Fremantle, Hawthorn. Got the job done against Richmond. But they are big contenders. And they failed each one. Back-to-back games against interstate teams. Fremantle, where Voss kicked 6 goals. And Brisbane, Logan Morris kicked a bag. Got defensive problems, Collingwood. I discussed this on the Friday night show. Huge defensive problems. Darcy Moore doesn't look it to me. Darcy Moore. His form 2 years ago when they won the flag was outstanding. He's nothing like that player no more. Nothing like that player. Got ruck concerns. Just 6 weeks ago, we were saying is Darcy Cameron the best ruckman in the league. That seems to be gone. Their best player, their best forward is Jamie Elliott, who 5-6 weeks ago was kicking bags of 5, kicking bags of 6. Not even kicking bags of 2. Huge problems at Collingwood. Hawthorn seems to have found their mojo. Got their forwards back. Cashier Deer looks very good. Their ruckman Meek, very good. Jordan Lewis, I think, not Jordan Lewis. Lewis Mitchell, sorry. Jordan Lewis is retired. Lewis Mitchell. Or Mitchell Lewis, sorry. Whatever you want to call him. Not Jordan Lewis, who's retired. And that's a Geelong fan. Thank God for that. No, they've got three full tours. Sorry, 3 tall forwards. Mario Chol is their 4th. Are they too tall? Didn't look like it to me. Got no Will Day out for the season. For the year, sorry. Won't be back for finals. They looked okay in that midfield, led by Jai Newcomb, who was involved with that Jeremy Howe incident. He's okay. Jai Newcomb played the rest of the game. Passed the head concussion test. Sicily's back in form. 3-4 weeks ago, we were saying maybe he's the worst captain in the AFL. Found his form. When he's playing well, Hawthorn play really well. Newcomb, Warple, all doing good. Dark horse for me. Dark horse. Geelong don't want to see him. Geelong fans don't want to see him. I don't want to see him against Geelong in the finals. But they found their mojo. They play 4 quarters. Look out if they bring 4-quarter effort in their games. No more about them when they play Brisbane in the last round. Or no more. And they look really good. Really good. Feel sorry for the TV rights. Or sorry, the TV network. Been dying for a good game. They've been dying for a blockbuster game on prime time. Finally get a good game. They don't get the result though. It's a blowout. Bit humorous. Bit funny. That's the way it is. Unlucky. Probably it's karma. Karma saying, you know what? You've mistreated us for the last 6 rounds, or basically all year, giving us dead teams. Or not dead teams, but bad teams. Blowouts. I'm going to give you a really good game. Footy God said no. Ain't going to happen. It didn't happen, did it? Hawthorn blowing them away. Friday night. Yes. My team, Geelong. Another snooze fest against the Bombers. So we thought. You're thinking, another primetime Essendon. Are you kidding me? Absolute joking. We just had a blowout the night before, and now we get Essendon on primetime. When will this end? Essendon were good. Essendon were really good. The scoreboard is flattening. It deserved to be a lot closer. They were very competitive. That third quarter, they were outstanding, Essendon. I did this review with our friend Kiri. Did this review. Went on Bomber Banter. I said to Fiona, Essendon should have been closer. We were horrible in that third quarter. Absolutely horrible. The stat padding of Cameron got to our heads. That first 10 minutes with Mena, where he could have kicked the goal. He was only 20 metres out, directly in front, and then he just kicks a little ball to Cameron. And even if Cameron marked it, it would have been played on. Not good enough. But Bombers deserve their credit. Their coach, Brad Scott, moved the magnets. He's been moving the magnets all around all season, Brad Scott. Merritt, halfback. Peter Wright, halfback. Nick Matt, halfback. Been doing everything. Everything. Merritt starting on the bench. Merritt starting in the midfield. This time he thought, I'll put McGrath in the midfield, Kako in the midfield, Gresham up higher around the stoppages. Well, it worked. Folded like deck chairs, Geelong Cats in that third quarter. Kako, McGrath, Gresham. Just destroyed them. We had no answer to that. Ran out of gas in the fourth quarter, as bottom side team does. And we got lucky in the end. Essendon bring 4 quarters of that. Could have been a different night. Could have been a hell of a different night. Also by Merritt as well. Not to disrespect Merritt. Kako, Merritt, Gresham, McGrath worked. And Geelong did it comfortably in the end. Comfortably. Got the 4 points. Saturday. Wowee. Couple of games on Saturday, which probably the best Saturday for a long time. A couple of really close games. An upset. We'll get out the St Kilda and Richmond game. We'll get that out the way. Nothing game. Bottom side Richmond, St Kilda mid-table team. St Kilda win 3 in a row. Ross the Boss does it again. Can you imagine winning a game only scoring, or was it 57 points? 57 points, 54? I'm not sure. I could bring up the scoreboard. Just stay with us. Oh, 4 points. 4 points. 56 to 42. St Kilda kicked 7 goals and they won. Hard to believe that. Hard to believe. But that's Ross the Boss for you. Make 4 grand finals playing that way. But 57 points and they win. Incredible. Apart from that, this game was a snooze fest. Absolute snooze fest. Skill level was bad. Congestion was at an all-time high. The flooding was an all-time high. That's coaching. Ross the Boss for you. Richmond bought the effort. You can see that. But I was going to say Essendon there. But St Kilda, more experienced players in their midfield. Steele, McRae, Missy Higgins, Jack Higgins. Missy Higgins, I like to call him. Can say nicknames on this show. We can say nicknames on this show. Unlike Fox Footy, we can say nicknames on this show, and I will say nicknames on this show. Even though Fox Footy backtracked a week later. How embarrassing was that? But, yeah, more experienced players for St Kilda side. Got the job done. They found a way to win. The next game. Oh, wow, what an upset. Brisbane and Sydney. I was going to say St Kilda there. Brisbane and Sydney. So I go off camera for a sec. Wow, we did not expect this. Sydney were awful the previous week against Essendon. Essendon probably could have won that game. 2 points. 2-point game. I'm checking the scoreboard, so sorry if I got off camera. Can't remember everything. Isaac Heaney. Wowee, what a game he had. He was outstanding. Absolutely outstanding, Isaac Heaney. Got them over the line. Gotten a lot better, Sydney. A lot better. Ever since Golden's came back. Rowbottom's also came back. But Golden, since he's came back, they've been outstanding. They had that horrible game against the Giants. Then Essendon, lucky, but I thought Brisbane would win this by 30, 40 points. They can't make finals, Sydney. Well, they're mathematically still in with a chance, mathematically. I think they've got to make up 20 goals. They've got to make up 20 goals. I think 20 or 25 goals. So they got to beat the Cats next week by 10 goals. I think the Giants or the Bulldogs lose by 10 goals and then win their last game by 10 goals and hope GWS Bulldogs or whoever's 8 lose by 10 goals. So it's stupid, but we never know with the AFL. We've got Geelong next week at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Wowee, 6 weeks ago that match looked a snooze fest. You think Geelong, how many by? I'm worried now. As a Geelong fan, I'm worried about that game. Like I said, that was an unexpected win. Heaney was brilliant. Warner was good. Gordon was good. Brody Grundy got a late concussion. All reports that he's fine. He will play. Though you never know. Late concussion, you just don't know. But he passed that. He passed the test, apparently. He passed the test. Huge game. And it's on a Sunday. A Sunday? You kidding me? Collingwood and Adelaide, Saturday night. Let's check. Let's go off camera. Let's check next week's Thursday and Friday game. Oh my God, St Kilda and Essendon. Boy. No wonder Channel 7 opted out of the Gold Coast Essendon game. No wonder they opted out. How does this happen? How can you have Collingwood and the Crows on Saturday night and Sydney and Geelong on a Sunday? Madness. Absolute madness. Friday night game is Fremantle and Brisbane. I don't need to go off camera for that. Fair enough. Really? St Kilda and Essendon? Are you kidding me? How many goals is that going to be in that game? Are St Kilda going to win only by scoring 5 goals? 30 points? Madness. With a floating fixture as well, ladies and gentlemen. A floating fixture. We still produce the top 4 teams on prime time. I don't care about fan bases. I don't care how many fans of who got what. Well, St Kilda don't have a big fan base anyway, neither do Essendon. Neither do Essendon and St Kilda. This makes no sense. Carlton, Collingwood and Richmond. Well, at least you say, well, Carlton have got the big fans, you know. Richmond, big fan base. Well, apparently. So they say. When they won their 3 premierships. Even then, that wouldn't be an excuse. But back to Brisbane and Sydney. Sydney outstanding. Brisbane showing signs of slowing down. Womp and womp. What are Brisbane going to do? The players are out of form. Charlie Cameron has not had the season he once had a few years ago. Lachie Neal's out for the season. He will be the season, regular season. He will be back for finals, but he will not play in the last 2 games. Will not play. Huge problems. We go back and forth with academies. Well, it's unfair. They got academies, Gold Coast academies, Sydney academies. Maybe that was an overreaction. By the way, one flag since the academies. So it's not like those teams are dominating. I don't think Brisbane are dominating. Maybe an overreaction. Sydney looked good. Brisbane looked very shaky. They got a tough game against Fremantle, Brisbane, up in Perth. I don't know. Fremantle, another team. We'll get into that shortly. Fremantle, another team. You just don't know. You pick them, they let you down. You don't pick them, they win. Footy tipping, by the way. Well, when you do pick them, you're in for a hell of a night. Sydney, big game against Geelong. Huge game. Sunday afternoon, where Saints and Essendon play prime time. Unreal. Now, speaking of Freo, wowee, what a game at Adelaide Oval against Port Adelaide. Travis Boak announced his retirement. Showed they wanted to play for him. It showed. Early, it didn't. Early, they felt like they were going to fold like a cheap suit. Felt like Fremantle were going to win by 40, 50 points, maybe even worse. Port Adelaide were very good in that second half. Fremantle were lucky. I think the most die-hard Freo fan would say that. But nonetheless, Freo got it done thanks to Alex Pearce, who took a huge contested mark with 1 minute, 40, 50 seconds remaining, kicked a goal. Alex Pearce, he said, I'm the captain. Coach is not going to tell me to go up forward. I'm going to do it myself, and I'm going to win the game. And he did that. Now, before that, Rosie kicked an amazing goal. He had cramp, kicked around in the pocket. And he thought, wow, we're Connor Rosie. And then Alex Pearce turned up. Connor Rosie had another chance. Dropped a crucial mark, I think, with 30 seconds to go. Had a long piece of it. That had the showdown vibes. Where the Crows kicked a goal and Motlop kicks a goal 30 seconds later. Bit like that. Rosie kicks a goal. Pearce takes a huge mark, kicks a goal. Rosie has a chance to take a mark and win the game after the siren. Drops the mark. Very good game at Adelaide Oval. Surprisingly, because Port's effort the last couple of weeks has been horrible. No effort against Geelong. And when you saw the first quarter when Fremantle were out by 25 points, 26 points, you thought, oh boy, here we go. This is pretty disappointing for Travis Boak's last game. What's amazing is the old players that stood up. Ollie Wines had a great game. Great game. Connor Rosie, with a broken hand, mind you, had a great game. Zach Butters had a good game. Travis Boak had a good game. Aliir had an outstanding game. Aliir was absolutely fantastic. On one leg. Absolutely fantastic. Kicked his first goal for Port Adelaide. That's right. That's a fact. He kicked his first goal for Port Adelaide. Doesn't kick many goals, Aliir. But went up forward, kicked a goal. But Fremantle held on. They held on in a great game. The other Saturday night game Average games. Gold Coast, Carlton. Carlton showed some fight, just like Port Adelaide. They actually showed some fight. Fortunately, it was too late. Then they kicked 5-6 goals in a row from the late in the third quarter to the last quarter. I don't think Gold Coast were ever in danger of losing this game. But Carlton, they showed some spirit. I think that's what the fans want, some spirit. They did that. Gold Coast are nervous when it comes to outside of Queensland, or should I say up far from north. They're very good in Darwin. They had to lose a game in Darwin. There's reports that they want to move away from Darwin. Why? It's hell of an advantage. Hell of an advantage. Why move from there? I don't understand that. But Ben King. Max King plays for St Kilda. Ben King was unbelievable. 6 goals. It's a difference. Mackay came back for Carlton. He was very good. Very good when he had the service. Motlop had a good game. So, Carlton showed some fight where their coach was under a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. And Gold Coast would have been nervous when Carlton kicked 6 goals in a row. Would have been nervous. There was moments where Hardwick was like this. But they held on. We're going to take a break here. We'll be back in, a minute or two. This is a long review, so stay with us. Back from my break. When I do these reviews, I'll try not to take breaks, but, it's a long show. So Sunday, again, up and down Sunday. A blowout, really close game, and another fairly close game. Unsurprising. So surprising. A surprising close game. We start with North Melbourne and the Giants up at Monica Oval in Canberra. I love it when they play AFL in Canberra. I really do like that ground at Monica Oval. I think the AFL should consider their 30th team to be in Monica. That's my personal opinion. And nonetheless, Giants versus North Melbourne. It's a Giants home game. They play 3 games a year up there. I think this was their last game. Can play finals if they want. Got a very good record there, mind you. Fortunately for North fans, unlike Essendon, unlike Carlton, unlike West Coast, get to them a little bit later, they showed no effort against GWS. They were poor. Never in this game. And that's disappointing because they've been a basket case for a long time now, North Melbourne. They have a very good coach. People say he's past it. He hasn't got it what it is anymore. He's Mick Mulhouse 2.0 when he took over Carlton. Can't play like that no more. So we're looking for something from North Melbourne. Anything. There's nothing today. Absolutely nothing today. Well, I got a guy off screen. $54 points. Not good enough. Never going to win this game. We don't expect them to win the games like this. Come on. But to be blown out like that, 130 points GWS put on them. So that means there was no effort. GWS were very good. Did what they had to do. Toby Green was good. Tom Green, sorry. Tom Green is injured. Still injured, I believe. Apologies. Sorry to Tom Green and the GWS Giants. He did play. He's very good. Got a potent forward line. Hogan is the one that's not playing. I apologise. He's injured. He got banged up. So apologies there. It's Hogan. It's not playing. Stringer had a good game. He got tactical subbed out. Rest in peace to all the multis out there. Also in the Jeremy Cameron game, in the Geelong game, who thought he might kick 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe even 10, maybe even 15. Kicked 4. Not a good night for the multis. They would have made a lot of money that night. But GWS, they have a potent forward line. I like their forward line. Cadman, I think, is going to be a special player. A very good player, Cadman. Hogan's heroes, as I call him, Jesse Hogan, out injured, but he's very good forward. Very good forward. Coleman medalist. Riccardi's up and down for me, but I do like him. I do like how he plays. The midfielders are very good. So they were. I don't think they're as good as Hawthorn. Hawthorn are sitting in 7th, I believe. Sitting in 7th. GWS 8th. I think they will hold on. But games they should win, they lose. That Dogs game was horrible. Really, really horrible. And they got blown out like that. Good teams don't do that. A lot to work with. GWS, I do like them. North, on the other hand, a lot of work to do. Wow, where Wembley has got really one good player in Cheezel. I don't like their leaders. Simpkin, for me, either has one good game, 10 average games. Simpkin, for me, is a 1 goal, 20 touch, 20 disposal player. Cameron Zurha is not consistent enough for me. Curtis is a good player, I'll give you that, but he does silly stuff. That gets him suspended. But he is a good player, so I think they've got 2 really good players. I like Harvey. I really do like him. Too early to call. I'll play him for the rest of the season. I'll play him all next year. Waterlord, for me, I like him. LDU, I think is not doing enough for me in North Melbourne. I think he should be doing more. He's on big money. Those players I just mentioned, minus Waterlord and Harvey, they're on big money. Big money they've signed. Like he's had a poor year. On huge amount of money. It's almost half their salary cap is on those players. They're not performing to that money. They're doing really bad. If you're comparing them with the money they're on, they are doing horrible. I want to be respectful. I'm going to be respectful, but if you're comparing them to that money, they are doing horrible. Not good enough. Moving on. Very tight, close game. Either side could have won. Footscray versus Melbourne, or Western Bulldogs versus Melbourne, however you want to call them. I like calling them Footscray. That's their traditional name. Melbourne could have won this game. Western Bulldogs, it feels weird for them playing up the G. It feels so weird. I'm not used to them playing up the G. If they had a home final, they probably would request to play at Marvel. Probably. They wouldn't get it, but they would request it. That's they're so much better under Marvel than they are at the MCG. Today proved it. They looked lost at the MCG. The bigger ground. Really got exposed by Melbourne. Should have won that game. Norton was very good. Norton's form has been unbelievable. Early start of the year, we say, "Oh, Norton, geez, he's a bit of a joke." Bit like a tennis player. What's that tennis player? The headband. Borjon York or something, or Pat Cash. Found his form. Darcy, used to kicking goals, takes a great mark to save the game. But Dogs have to play finals of the MCG. Yeah, I don't think they're great. Don't think they're great. Melbourne, new coach. Well, interim coach. Simon Goodwin left. Did okay. Well, that's what happened. That's what happens. It always happens. You get rid of a coach, you bring someone in, there's always going to be effort the next game. Because what players get away with under the old coach, they don't get away with it with the new coach. So they intense their effort a little bit. Say, hey, look at me, I can still play. Oliver is one of those incidents. Oliver had a good game. Disposals. Oliver, all season, last year as well, no effort. Terrible. Almost got traded to the Geelong. Unfortunately, we didn't have any currency to trade for him. Melbourne play hardball. Brings in a new coach. Oliver looked great. Looked great. Always happens with a new coach, doesn't it? And if it wasn't for that Darcy mark, they would have lost this game, the Bulldogs. Footscray. Norton was fantastic with 5 goals, as I mentioned. I'm not convinced by Bulldogs. I'm really not convinced with them outside Eddie Had. It felt weird. Just felt weird that they were playing at the MCG. It felt weird. It's a Melbourne home game, by the way. But, yeah. Right, last game of the round. I don't need the scorecard or stats for that because I watched that game. I watched 4 of that game, unlike the last 2 today where I watched bits and pieces. The Adelaide Crows, West Coast versus the Adelaide Crows. This is a game where you think Adelaide Crows are going to get a huge percentage boost. They're going to cement top spot. Going to win by could win by 70, could win by 80 points. Anything but that. And West Coast could have won this game. Could have won this game. They gave it a red hot crack for 4 and a bit quarters. For 3 and a bit quarters. I think up until 10th minute mark of the 4th quarter, they ran out of gas. But they were fantastic against the Adelaide Crows. Adelaide Crows struggled for me. Thilthorpe had a neck injury problem. He's finally played out the rest of the game. But when he went off, they were horrible. They're medium-sized forwards outside of, medium to tall-sized forwards outside of Walker, Fogarty, Thilthorpe are horrible. Horrible. Keys, literally is a good 2-way player. Not cited. Neil Bullen has had a great year, not cited. Burgess came from the Sandful, not cited. West Coast brought the pressure. Their tackling pressure was insane. Mate, this is probably a blueprint. This is probably a blueprint to stop the Crows. Pressure. Tackling pressure. Hawthorn did this for 1 quarter against the Crows, where every time Crows got the ball, whether it was Dawson or Rankin, they were all over him like right on rice. West Coast today, it felt like they took that blueprint. Well, let's do what Hawthorn did. Let's tackle them. Let's get in their face. Crows couldn't handle it. They were awful. Now, it's unfortunate that West Coast can't play 4 competitive quarters. Like I said, they were good for 3 quarters. They were good for the last quarter up until the 10th minute. They ran out of gas. If they kept that intensity all game, they would have won that. Crows are not as good as people think they are. If Collingwood can bring the pressure for 4 quarters, and they can play 4 quarters, they'll win. They look very vulnerable to me outside of the big 3 of Walker, Thilthorpe, Fogarty. If they have a bad night, if they have all 3 combined, Fogarty, Walker, Thilthorpe, or should I say, if you can stop them 3, they're going to have a bad night. They're not going to win. Rankin and Dawson are arguably their best players in the midfield by a mile, not even close. Rankin's a baller. Dawson's a baller. Dawson's a favourite for the Brownlow. Could get 3 votes today. Could. So I thought Rankin was absolutely unbelievable in that 3rd and 4th quarter. But you shut down those 3 tall forwards, you're going to beat the Crows because their medium-sized players are horrible. Well, I wouldn't say that's a strong word. I wouldn't say horrible, but they're nowhere near the level of a. I'm trying to think of good medium-sized forwards in the AFL, and I can't really think of any. Like Voss. Voss is a medium-sized forward. Voss has been absolutely outstanding. Was a St Kilda player, by the way. St Kilda let him go. Very good player. They don't have a Voss. They don't have someone that can kick Keys. Keys isn't going to kick 6 goals in a game in a final for you. Neil Bullen's not going to kick 6 goals in a final for you. Not that Voss has done that. I'm just spitballing here. Rochelle isn't. Rochelle's still injured. Rochelle may not be back for week 1 of the finals. Coming from a PCL. So it's a lot of reliance on those medium size forwards. If those 3 tools can't stand up, you can beat them. Very vulnerable. Because Matthew Nicks, he likes putting Dawson in the forward line. He likes switching Rankin from midfield to forward line. West Coast, Tim Kelly smashed him. Tim Kelly had his best game in 5 years. Probably since ever for West Coast. Unfortunately, it was just a nothing game. But they win, they still bottom. But the effort was there. There was a clear game plan of putting pressure on the Adelaide Crows with tackles. And they did that for 3 and a bit quarters. So the game plan was there and they stuck with it. Shows me signs of improvement. Unlike North Melbourne, which was no improvement in that GWS thrashing. West Coast did. Something to work on for 2026. But the game plan, for the first time this season, albeit late, you could see what West Coast were trying to do. They were trying to put a huge amount of pressure on Adelaide, set by Hawthorn in the first quarter last week. West Coast did it brilliantly. Maybe Collingwood will do that next week. Maybe that's a loophole in the Crows game. Put them under pressure. They really struggle. We're going to check the ladder before we head off. So apologies for going off camera again. So the ladder reads, go off camera here. Audio only. LA Crows first, Geelong Cats second. Third best percentage is surprisingly, because they're not in the finals. So it's Footscray. They've got the third best percentage. Shows you they're really good. It's really good, but they're bad. It's really bad. Two rounds to go in the AFL season for 2025. My name is Coach Lucas from the Geelong Zone. Make sure to like and subscribe if you are watching. Helps my channel out. I like doing these. Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. Sometimes I just go with it. I make mistakes. It happens. Normally the way I'm talking through this is I don't act like this on the Hoops Crew. I'm literally more flamboyant, more emotional. But I don't know. I'm relaxed. I like it. I like it being relaxed. I like talking about this. I could talk for this for hours. I could make as many mistakes as Kelly Underwood, but I still like doing these videos. Really do appreciate it. Don't know where this will go. I'll persist with it. Could do this for a year and it could all come crashing down, or could be the number 2 AFL contender of the AFL. Who knows? As long as the Hoops Crew is number 1, I have no problem being number 2. Also, make sure you give them a like and subscribe. Their link will be in the bio, led by Ben and Paul. You do a fantastic job. But my name's Coach Lucas. This was the Round 22 review. Thank you very much and goodbye for now.